So, no one is still willing to admit that our reggae and dancehall artists have to step up their production when it comes to big major shows. Nobody's willing to admit that some of our big stage shows are having production issues. So nobody's still willing to admit that some of the hosts for some of our stage shows are now thinking that they are part of the performance and therefore they're intertwining themselves with the performers. Nobody's willing to admit that. Nobody's willing to admit that some of our stage shows need to have a designated person that has the authority to regulate the stage at any given time. Nobody thinks that things are happening on the stage during major performances that should not be happening. Nobody? No one's willing to admit? All right, cool.
I'm sorry for the noise in the background, people, but why may I tell you? A bag of things went down, this weekend. And, Reggae Sumfest, of course. And people are talking, everybody's talking right now, based on what happened at the show. Now everybody's giving their review. This is Hardball TV, and I'm just here to share my 2 cents and, voice my opinion on what I saw at this show. Now, I had to drop in that, Irish and Chin, his opinion at the starting of this this review of Reggae Sumfest. But I think that was one of the issue. The stage, we see DJ, what's his name? World Boom, and we have Nuffy, right? And it's like what Irish and Chin was saying to me make a lot of sense, because it's like these hype men or MCs or whatever. It's like they trying to incorporate themselves within the artist's performance, and it interrupts the to me it interrupts the performance with the artist, because the people are there to see the artist on stage performing and giving them a good show, right? Me personally, I think this show was catered to like Vibes Cartel. I'm just giving my honest opinion for what I'm seeing right now. Not that Reggae Sumfest is not a global event, all right, or people from all over the world, they view these or watch these events, especially now with social media. So it's definitely globally. The professionalism, I should say, right? It wasn't like dear to me. It's like a lot of things, I don't know. And to me, it's like the show was like catered around Vibes Cartel being crunk, the new king of the dancehall. You understand? And I don't know if that caused some friction with some art, but like I said, every artist that was booked for the show, they came and they did their job, right? I must say that, right? One of the highlights of the show is Masicka and Jashi, right? And I see a lot of people highlighting Governor, presenting or giving his mom a present at Reggae Sumfest. I think it was a car, right? A car or SUV or something like that. And certain parts of the show was, it was great to me, I mean, some people probably get their money's worth and some people probably didn't. I don't know, because Vibes Cartel, I think he performed for like 20 minutes at most, or at best, 25 minutes at best. And that was it. So very sharp performance from Vibes Cartel, same way. But the show was catered around him. Now, this is why I said the show seemed like it was just catered around Vibes Cartel being Crown King this year at Reggae Sumfest for whatever reason, I don't know. But we see the Masicka part, and even that was awkward to me, because And I can see why people are saying, well, Masicka have an issue. And, Masicka said this might be his last. He didn't say this is his last um, Sumfest, Reggae Sumfest. He said this might be, he said, yo, this might be my last Reggae Sumfest. And it leaves people wondering why did Masicka say that. But when he went up on stage here, he said, I try style the thing, and it's like them seems like them happy for we, but them not happy for we. Which Masicka sing them thing they ain't sang already, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just one of them things there. And people are saying no, Masicka by he because like I said, yeah, we know Masicka Raid Vibes Cartel, Big Up Vibes Cartel, whatever. But to me, Masicka, the genocide, like Masicka said right now, one side, So Masicka definitely branched off, and he created that whether we want to accept it or not, the fan base might not be as big as a Vibes Cartel or a Alkaline or a Movado or a Popcorn or some of these artists, but definitely Masicka is doing his thing right now when it comes to the genocide fans them and the crux them, Now go around that. You know what I mean? But a lot of people are saying that Masicka being affiliated, just like with a lot of these artists with the Gaza Nation, you're just gonna get lost in the sauce because Vibes Cartel is always gonna be the main focus when it comes to the Gaza Nation. See? So, but I must agree with that too. I agree with that. So we see the Masicka, Vibes Cartel. People are saying, man get this backstage, but they're not really saying why. Some people are saying it could be because of Scatter being a part of the event, and Scatter, Joe, they work together down south. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? And we know the history with Aishana, Masicka, Joe, and boy, me not like Photo High probably right now watching this and just shaking his head. And just shaking his head right now. If that's, because people have Aishana now to say, well, because Masicka and Aishana used to deal, and Scatter is the, one of the people that's working with Joe promoting this event. Maybe they try to sabotage, Masicka thing and all of these things and because you remember the last time it was Popcorn. I think that was at Vibes Cartel Freedom Street, right? Where he had issues with Scatter too. Boy, I don't know. But yeah, the people are talking. This is what I'm hearing. The people are saying, boy, I don't know, dog. It look really shaky over there at Reggae Sumfest this year because it seems like them just wanted to crown Vibes Cartel, and some of the artists them that came there, they definitely work for their money, they definitely give the funds, a show for their money. Matter of fact, I liked Chanel Muir. Boy, and Chanel Muir look good in that outfit, that outfit that she wear. I must say, Aishana look good too. Both of them look great. If you ask me, Aishana outfit was a little more, Aishana a little more revealing, whatever. But I actually like her outfit when I saw Aishana. I was like, wow, nice outfit. Just like with Chanel Muir, but I think Chanel Muir, right? She really give the fans them, especially the ladies them, a good performance. You know what I mean? And I'm sure all the top gal them right now are saying, well, yes. You know what I mean? Chanel, yeah, cause she rep for the top gal them. You know what I mean? I go wrong that. And I love the outfit. I just love Chanel Muir, whole energy, her performance, on stage, and she worked the bands. I must say, she worked the bands. And as a female artist, working the bands like that, no, man, me I say no, sir. Cut and clear. You know what I'm saying? Cut and clear. Now, Shensi was also, I think, booked for this event, but I think she denied the request, if I'm not mistaken, right? But if Shensi was there too, thought that would have been a great look, but for some reason that never happened. And this is why I said it's not the professionalism to me, because look, with the Aishana and Spice more time, it's like they working with Vibes Cartel. So it's not like they're giving you their own performance. Like they're not getting their own stage time. It's like they're working within Vibes Cartel, stage time. And 15 minutes to 20 minutes or 25 minutes at best, like I said, I don't think that was long enough. I don't think it was good enough. Maybe that's why some of the people get upset. Because I think at the crowning of Vibes Cartel, we saw like a stampede or, people start rushing. I don't know what happened. You understand? But you see them start circling Vibes Cartel on the stage, and the crowd start reacting. I heard people got trampled, people got this happened, that happened, and all these things. So like I said, I'm just looking from outside in because I wasn't there on the ground, I wasn't there at the show, but I'm just giving my 2 cents here. You know, so overall, with all of that, with the lack of professionalism, it makes it seems like, boy, if I was to grade this show right now, Reggae Sumfest this year right now, it would have a low grade to me, not just because people might say I'm the ops or whatever. It had nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? That's reggae. This is reggae Sumfest. You know what I mean? Like I said, globally, all over the world, people tune in to watch this show and the artists that's going to be performing at this event. You know, so I think a lot of people walk away disappointed, and like I said, some people walk away satisfied because I guess the artists that they went to see, deliver. Governor, like I said, he did a massive job. I like the part when he, gifted his mom, like I said, that car and all that. Very kind of like emotional performance in a sense. Like I said, I love Chanel Muir. Masicka, they say take it for the night just because of the controversy. Now, I would give that to the genocide funds then, because that's the word in the streets right now. That's what that's the talk of the town right now. Whether they did it for controversial reason or whatever, because I know we don't know why Masicka said that, what happened backstage, and what really take place. So we just hearing something happen. What happened? Well, I can't say we don't know, but I don't know, right? And whoever was backstage that was there that witnessed these, whatever happened, they're not talking right now. So that's all I can say. You feel me? But because I even expect Masicka and Vibes Cartel, right? Because remember, like I said, Vibes Cartel is being crowned and all these things. So I'm expecting a lot of, well, not a lot of, because a lot of them wasn't there, but because Popcorn, for some reason, Popcorn wasn't there either. Reggae Sumfest, I don't know, Popcorn wasn't booked, but you expecting some people to run on as special guest, surprise, act, all of these things. I don't know. Maybe that's how I was thinking. Cause I'm like, Vibes Cartel is gonna be crowned here, and Vibes Cartel boss holy party. So the if they had really set it up in a kind of way, they could have set it up for Vibes Cartel just feature most of the artists them that bust from the Gaza camp, right? I don't know which artists can be in Jamaica and which artists can fly and do this, whatever. But for this year Reggae Sumfest, Vibes Cartel being crowned king, to me it would have been nice if the artists them that he bust would have been there to perform, and he just, Vibes Cartel really didn't even have to work that hard. If you understand what I'm saying, because he just giving the artists them now the stage while showcasing why he's the king of the dancehall, right? And not because of him selling more records than other artists, not for the fact that he have more #1 albums or platinum albums and all these things. We're not going to go there when it goes to numbers, right? We're just going to go off of the mere influence based on the culture and the impact that Vibes Cartel have, right? Because some people, it happens when they're alive, they don't see the glory until they passed away. You know what I mean? And that's why we have this thing where we call martyrs, or people that become martyrs, right? Like when you, like Bob Marley. That's why some people can't really, because he became a martyr. He died in his prime. He didn't go to jail. He actually passed away. He was no longer here to give us, the great music that Bob Marley was giving us. Vibes Cartel, to me, he got a second chance, to be honest. And like I said, he was crowned king this year at Reggae Sumfest. But was it properly orchestrated to say, well, this is why Vibes Cartel, or was it just a rush thing? And as some people are saying right now, well, yo, Hardball TV, I just to say him I work with Joe and Scatter and them, and it's Joe's show, and it's like a friend thing, man, and it's like, me, you know, when Beanie Man they get a crown, it wasn't like that. When Yellow Man they claim this, and when Shabba they say him the emperor and everything, it was never like that. That man they get real fight, and then, but it seems like Vibes Cartel right now, like this thing is just like, you know what I mean? Like it was just, he was just handed it. It didn't really work, because remember Vibes Cartel actually got locked up, incarcerated, right, when he was at the prime of his career, and we lost 13 years of Vibes Cartel, so now he's back out. That's what I'm saying. That's like a second chance, right? If you ask me. Because anyway, and now he's, being crowned and all of these things, right? Even though some people, like I said, disagree with that. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm just listen to what I'm saying. This is what the streets are saying. It's what people are saying. Because not everybody's going to agree with me, and not everybody's going to disagree with me. That's just how the world works. I can't change it. But great, I think the show itself is a great show. But this year, it was kind of disappointing to a lot of people because, and then the crowning thing, it didn't even seem so special, if you understand what I'm saying. It seems, and then when the Vibes Cartel is going to be crowned, then we see this whole thing broke out with it, it's like, it's like something wasn't right. I don't know, the energy was, kind of wasn't right. But some artists, they brought that energy still, that vibe, that, you know what I mean? Like I said, you see me, I think Dunceman even, because I ain't watched the whole show per se, but, I've been watching the performances, right? And I'm like, Jamal, that they have a lot of potential, but, we boy, may I tell you, Tommy Lee didn't get to, because I think, why may I tell you, people, and like I said, Vibes Cartel could have orchestrated this thing easy. Could have been an easy 1, 2, 3, without even Vibes Cartel hackling up himself, or, and just bringing out the artists them highlighting and saying, and every now and then saying, forward, or run out on stage and bust 2 through and bust a through, and gone back in and bring out the next artist. I like the Gaza Nation. I like, why Vibes Cartel is so influential. Why this, why that. I mean, we know that. But I think at a show, this is what people come to see. A show. A live performance. You know what I mean? Even bring out back Masicka. My dad's the Philip. Pow! My dad's the Philip. Come on, y'all live. I don't know, I like how we live. Party, you know what I mean? Vibes Cartel have all these, like, because I was like, wow. And then when Masicka ran out and he said what he said, that's why I'm over here and I'm like, really? This might be your last performance when Vibes Cartel is being crowned king? So maybe Masicka don't even agree with the fact that Vibes Cartel is the king of the dance. All right, no. I don't mean to ruffle feathers, and I don't mean to try to say, well, that's allegedly, or let me, right? But could it be? Because when they forward, when it comes to my artist alkaline, boy, may I tell you, no sir. And to the way how new rules, like I said, no one had no complaint. The people then was like, wow, professionalism at it, I don't want to say at its best, but everything was just smooth sailing. And I'm looking at Reggae Sumfest 2025 and saying to myself, boy. And yeah, I really think that Beanie Man is over there killing up himself, whatever. Matter of fact, Beanie Man performed in Brooklyn today. I was supposed to go to the show with one of my cousins. In was it Prospect Park? Some park. Beanie Man. Free show, they keep it every year annually. And I was supposed to go to the show, but I had different, plans, and my schedule was just different. But Beanie Man still doing his thing. I don't know what people really think, and then like I said, when I watch the show, I'm over here saying to myself, boy, I'm not like Skeng. Skeng, he definitely came out in Skeng is just a character. You know what I mean? It's like, boy, man, man, there you there, boy, man. But you know what? You know why I like Skeng, and I think I can relate to Skeng more time? He's just real. He's just, but them youth need guidance same way. They need structure. They need, mentorship. All right, it's not what they want. Sometimes it's what they need. It's like the ingredients that make this thing. You know what I mean? Just like a bread dough, you have to knead it in. It's something that you need, and that's what they call it, a double entendre. And that's what happened with the English language, because you could knead something, and then you could knead, like what they say in the Caribbean, you could be kneading bread, meaning you mixing the dough, right? But boy, may I tell you, I like the show. I like the show. I must say, it was entertaining. I'm sure a lot of people, probably that wasn't at the show enjoyed it more than some of the people that was at the show. But and that's even kind of messed up, because you expected, when you pay your money to go there, you want to have a good time. You want to see the people that bring, a great performance, great energy, great, you know what I mean? And you walk away saying, man, that was a memorable moment. You know what I mean? That was something, I would always go back to, and, leave the people them enticed, But I don't know, people. Look, this year, y'all can leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. But this year, boy, I tell you, look away. Look away, people. See, no, I hear people are saying even Alkaline was booked, and Alkaline denied the show. Shensi was booked, she denied the show. This person was booked, and I was like, I'm saying to myself, well, that might make sense, cause since Vibes Cartel is gonna be Crown King this year, why would Alkaline want to be booked for this show? I mean, no, I'm not saying that Alkaline shouldn't, because that's more money in his pocket. But all money ain't good money. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it real. All money ain't good money. So Alkaline, I want to be booked for the show, but Vibes Cartel is gonna be crowned king of dancehall. Really? And I want to be there as the vendetta boss, as the main danger in dancehall, the column, or one of the column right now. As to what OG would say, Grey, Masicka's the new king. As this could be a thing. And you're trying to sabotage, you use them. And remember, Vibes Cartel himself said he want to see Masicka and Alkaline clash, because him really can't I mean, to be honest, he can't really jump in that ring right now to spar. I don't think Vice Cartel. I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe he could, but until I see that, it's just like, with Mike Tyson coming out of retirement to go fight Jake Paul. What was that, Jake Paul? It's like certain things, right? You're saying to yourself, really? I mean, that would be good, be entertainment. A lot of money could be made off of it, but is it worth it? Do you want to really soil, or soil your, do you want to put a stain? Do you want to, you know? But this is a gladiator sports, man, and if you're not ready, yeah, like I said, I'm sure Beanie Man right now is saying to himself, boy, chill. I'm going to select them, May I tell you people, if y'all want it, because you see a lot of these people, they be in their feelings, they want to argue in emotions, and it rattles people up. You get people to do a lot of things, yes, right? And you could have this cult or people believe in what they want to believe in, but what do you really believe in? And if you can't see, it doesn't make sense to you, right? Why would you still believe in it? Just because you like that person so much. The last time I checked, I don't like no one to the point where they're gonna let me make decisions that's not beneficial to me. Like, if it's not gonna work out for me in the long run, I don't give a fuck. I got about my business. I'd rather suffer on my own. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to sit, you know what I mean? If you can't work together and build something and do something that's going to be beneficial, whatever the case may be, why the fuck should I sit here and go through some sorrow because I love you that much? Do you love me? That's why old people always used to say, hand wash hand, make hand come clean. Nothing don't work in this universe or on this planet that we live on that, it just work in your favor. You gotta be special. And even if you're special, everything do not work in your favor because you're not the creator. You're not the all. All things and everything does not work in your favor. That's just life. But anyway, great show. Wanted to see more. But and I'm saying great show, on the on that note of it being worldwide and the artists that came there, because I'm not trying to knock the artists down. Every artist that came there show out, they did thing. But overall, boy, may I tell you, it's not a good look.
Hey, who do this?
Me.
You?
Right now, yeah.
Check it out, okay?
No. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You see, look, and I'm still recording.
Oh.
No, but that's not the point. I got what you're saying. That's not me.
There's someone coming in the middle of the
No, I'm just doing it because I'm here right now.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, just take it out on your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't know this guy. He was in here last night.
Jesus.
You know him?
Who?
There was a guy, he said.
Hold on.